Okay, I'm popping on quickly here because there's an expression that came to my mind recently when I was fishing through Facebook. There's been a lot of pictures being posted on Facebook recently, historical pictures about the West Island recently. And I've been a little absent for quite a while. And I've sort of just been preparing for my next batch of endangered stories to be released. I want to do it all in. Anyways, I digress. I'll get into that in another video. What I want to talk about real briefly is this picture right here. Now, I've seen a lot of pictures. I've gone through a lot of documents. I've gone online. I've looked through old newspapers, old books. I've seen people's private picture collections of this area, the West Island and Pointe Claire, going as far back as the 1920s. I have an old photo album in the other room that goes as far back as the 1920s in Vawa. Very interesting. The landscape looks very, very, very different. Now, the expression "a picture says 1,000 words" is absolutely 100% true. However, sometimes in some pictures, those thousands of words are hidden in the details. If you don't understand certain contexts or certain aspects of the historical context that the picture was taken in, then you might miss on those 1,000 words. You might just have 100 words. And you might say, wow, that's a nice picture. Look how different things looked. Things looked very different. Oh, look, there's a store there I used to go to. And isn't that nice? That's just like 100 words. But this one picture really caught me by surprise because I hadn't seen a picture like this before. I hadn't seen a picture from this angle before. The pictures that I'd seen from St. John's Boulevard was looking northbound, right? There's a really old picture of St. John's Boulevard looking northbound. Or there's a picture of the mall being built that I have seen looking northbound. Now, this picture was taken in 1958 when the mall was built. There's a few details in this picture that caught my eye big time. Number one, yes, there's a Steinberg's there and the mall was nice and fresh and it was built, and how crazy is that? How you had a nice, beautiful, modern facility and it was advertised that way. A beautiful, franchised supermarket right here in Pointe Claire for nearly the first time, because Dominion was built, I think, a year earlier in Vawa. But right here in Pointe Claire. And the streets looked like you were living in this small town that's like in the middle of nowhere. And to add to this, the level crossing was still there. The cursed level crossing of St. John's, which had been there at that point by the late 50s for about 100 years. So the level crossing was still there, and you're able to see it from this perspective. And that level crossing was huge because of the amount of accidents that happened. I think definitely by 58, they were talking about either an underpass or an overpass. And of course, the overpass idea won. But before they built that overpass, there was, and this is like, it's my central point to all things historical in the West Island, the thing that got me into most of this stuff. There was a little ice cream shop that was in the corner, the western north corner of the Metropolitan, or the 2 and 20 and St. John's, called the Pointe Claire Milk Bar. Now, I've spoken a lot about the Milk Bar in a documentary that I did, but it's there. The Milk Bar is there in the picture. And if you've seen my documentary about the Milk Bar and the social importance of the Milk Bar, and how the Milk Bar was a catalyst of so many things to come in the West Island, it blew my mind that there was a picture that had the Milk Bar in it. I had only seen, there is one picture of the Milk Bar that exists that's floating around in social media. I've only seen it one other time And that's when they were doing some bell work, and off in the distance you see half the sign, but that's it. Even in aerial shots you can barely see it. In one map I think I saw it, but apart from that, and if you don't have the newspapers, you would have never known that this place had even ever existed. And it matters a lot to me because I've given so much importance to it and what relates to this place, the Pointe Claire Milk Bar. But again, that's for another video. I've done a video on that. I won't get into that. But the bottom line is that it's in this picture. The milk bar is in this picture. That's insane. Anyways, these are my thousands of words that I'm hearing in my head when I see this one single picture. And I guess the purpose of that picture was just to show, I guess, Steinberg's and its relevance to where it is exactly. But to me, and I've put it into my collection, and I thank Andy who posted the picture. Thank you very much. You've been doing a lot of posting. It's great. But this picture, I felt it deserved just a bit more attention from me. There's some really fun videos coming, great stories, great discoveries. Thank you so much for spending the last 10 minutes with me and hearing me rant about the importance of this picture. And we will see you soon.